Welcome back to the channel, citizens. Today we're doing a full review and buyer's guide for the new RSI Meteor, the ship arriving with the Alpha 4.2.1 update that just launched to live. We're going to dive into every aspect of this vessel to help you determine if it's the right fit for your hangar. The Mantis platform has always been a fan favorite for its design aesthetic, but its interdiction roll and limited firepower and fragility meant most players never found a use for the ship. The sleek chassis has been revitalized and its role shifted into a dedicated medium fighter that may seem initially overpowered. So with all the talk about power creep, is the Meteor the new meta fighter and worth your hard-earned money? Let's get into it. The overall design and appearance of the Meteor immediately reminds you of the wider RSI lineup, especially the Mantis, but many of the design language features of the Polaris and Zeus Mark II were carried over as well with this design, maintaining the popular sharp edge design style of the Mantis and a similar overall aesthetic. If you're a fan of the sharp edge ship designs that RSI pumps out, this chassis is going to be a winner. Visually, I love this ship. And while they were doing all these overhauls to the Mantis' frame, they added the lighted outline to the ship's elevator that has become a more and more present feature around the verse as of late. The Meteor's interior benefits from a refreshed design that was also applied to the Mantis as well, making it feel like a mini Zeus inside due to the adopted visual elements and cool blue accents. The interior of the Meteor includes all the modern essentials you've come to expect from contemporary ship designs. The ship's interior features a bed, a significant quality of life feature allowing players to log out anywhere in the verse, which is invaluable as the game scale grows. It also features a bathroom that's neatly tucked away on the back left wall, and it may include a shower system as well. And on the opposite side of the room from the bathroom, there's a food processing unit as well. The ship also features internal storage accessed via a drawer located under the bed for loot and supplies you find around the verse. It is important, however, to go ahead and note there is no cargo grid on this ship. You can fit a few 1SU boxes up through the elevator, but I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you absolutely have to. A very polished design details the hidden gun locker, accessed via a hidden button behind the pilot's seat. This locker rises from the floor and can store two secondary or one primary tool or weapon, and offers access to the internal storage of the ship once more. And when you're done using it, you can stow it away and pull it back up when you're ready, allowing you to make better use of the space within the hab of your ship. In regards to components, the ship comes equipped with 2x size 1 coolers, 1x size 1 power plant, and 2x size 1 shield generators. It also includes a size 1 radar and quantum drive. Access to fuses is provided for future in-game engineering repairs. All components are accessible from within the ship, making maintenance and replacement straightforward. The standout feature of the Meteor, though, is it boasts a unique and powerful weapon loadout designed for specific combat scenarios. It includes 2 dual size 5 bespoke ballistic cannons. These are the Meteor's most prominent weapons, delivering a high alpha damage of 1600 per shot, while ballistic weapons bypass shield mitigation, making the rounds tear into hulls faster. Securing killing blows against larger, higher HP shielded targets can still be challenging. Furthermore, the ship's maneuverability leaves you at a significant disadvantage as you won't be able to sustain a fight without support to divert focus at times. It's also important to note that ammo is limited on these, at 240 rounds total, but it fires 2 shots per round, leaving you with effectively 120 shots. They perform like upscaled deadbolt cannons effectively. Alongside these, you get 4 size 3 hardpoints, initially equipped with 4 laser cannons. These serve as the ship's bread and butter for engaging smaller and medium fighters, providing consistent damage output comparable to the Hornet Mark II. Lasers have faster projectile velocities, making hitting more agile, smaller targets easier than they would be with ballistics. Using these 2 sets of default weaponry together is practically impossible against smaller targets, and often difficult against larger targets. Your best bet with this base loadout is to swap between the 2 weapon groups. Use the cannons when you have clean shots, then swap back to repeaters until you see another opportunity to use your limited ballistic ammo. Alternatively, and what I'd recommend, you can swap out the default repeaters for scatter guns or ballistic cannons to bring the velocity of your hardpoints in line with each other for excellent performance. I found that the Deadbolt 3 cannons and Dominance 3 laser scatter guns for the size 3 hardpoints work incredibly well alongside the size 5 bespoke cannons. Either setup can offer a potent, increased damage payload that can hit smaller targets more reliably, with a consistent projectile velocity across all main guns, making aiming with the pips way easier. Crucially, I found the Deadbolts to be the best option for your size 3s, as they leave more power available for your shields and boost systems, leading to significantly better overall performance in combat. This setup also leans heavily into hit-and-run tactics that the Meteor excels at. For instance, I was able to down targets like the Aegis Saber in a single pass, with larger targets like the Anvil Gladiator taking several passes with Deadbolt 3s. I just wouldn't use it if you anticipate needing to stay in prolonged, sustained firefights due to ballistic ammo limitations. This will result in the ship being very dependent on ammo refills at stations and landing zones, which can interrupt your flow. The Meteor is also well equipped with missiles for various engagements. It comes equipped with 4 fixed size 2 missiles for bespoke front launchers. It also features a bottom rack that is highly customizable, able to carry up to 4 size 4 missiles. Each size 4 can be swapped for 2 size 3s, 4 size 2s, or 8 size 1s, allowing for a maximum of 32 size 1 missiles for high volume spam. Now let's discuss the Meteor's durability. It features 2 size 1 shields on par with some medium fighters like the Hornet Mark II, which the Meteor handles similar to as well. Its hull HP is notably low, requiring 2,750 damage to the main body for a kill. This, combined with the Meteor's maneuverability, can lead to a significant disadvantage against larger or harder hitting targets whose firing arcs you can't escape. Once your shields go, you're likely to follow. It seems it was explicitly designed for low durability. It's a glass cannon and should not be expected to be tanking heavy firepower. This is practically how CIG decided to balance the ship. In regards to that mentioned maneuverability, the ship has a maximum of 220 meters per second SCM speed, a boost speed of 570 meters a second, and a max nav speed of 1,405 meters a second. This means it's faster than both the Gladius and the Hornets by up to 10 meters a second at SCM, and up to 250 meters a second faster in nav mode. The Mantis in comparison has higher SCM speed, while the Meteor truly excels in straight line performance at nav speed at the expense of minor rotational performance. Overall, the Meteor outperforms heavier ships but falls behind lighter, more agile fighters like the Gladius by a healthy margin. This, combined with slow ballistics, makes it unlikely to excel against top-tier light fighters in PvP, though it did perform well in PvE environments. It is, however, easily overwhelmed when faced with a large number of hostile ships or heavily armored or shielded targets. While the Meteor can control the battlefield well by dictating engagement ranges, some targets will still outmaneuver you in these situations. Retreat becomes the best option, allowing you to disengage, recharge your shield, and then re-engage when you have the advantage. But against larger targets, this doesn't always work either. The Anvil Asgard was a great example of this. This was largely due to the fact the Asgard's roll and yaw rates are significantly better than the Meteor's, allowing it to consistently outmaneuver you in a turning fight. If the AI was working well, you were unlikely to win the fight outright in atmosphere without significant struggle. A strategic retreat, though necessary, often resulted in the target's shields fully regenerating, which your ballistic hardpoints will struggle to eat through before the enemy started dealing hull damage once more. Generally speaking, however, if you can isolate a target or manage your position well, you should be able to complete very high-risk bounty missions frequently, but it can be a struggle depending on the exact target and support ships present. And many people went into this ship's release thinking it would be stealthy, and to be blunt, it's not a stealthy ship. With a high cross-section emission of a massive 14,000, it doesn't seem to have any modifiers to that right now. Stealth components could reduce this issue and likely improve its performance in controlling the battlefield. Now let's talk about price. The Meteor is currently priced at 260 USD, with a war bond price of 240. This is honestly my biggest beef with this ship, as I expect it to be likely lower cost than the ship it's based on, the RSI Mantis, which is currently priced at 150. This is based on the historic precedent of quantum interdiction ships often running higher than other variants. What's worse is you can get a lot of ships for around $260. For around the same price, you can buy an RSI Scorpius, an RSI Constellation Andromeda, or a Drake Corsair, which provide way more bang for the buck. And even if you just want a fighter around this price range, you can get the Super Hornet Mark II for $20 cheaper, and it will generally provide a better overall result. Where it does shine is as a well-flying, super fast medium fighter that can finish the majority of PvE encounters while providing the modern HAB essentials. The RSI Meteor is positioned as a sleek, fast, and heavily armed medium fighter, introducing a new level of interior polish and quality of life features to the RSI lineup. Despite its attractive design and interior utility, its current real money price in relation to its combat profile makes it a niche choice. While it's a ship worth having, it's not a must-have, and I personally wouldn't recommend pledging for it at its current price. Waiting for its in-game availability for Alpha aUEC or via Wicklow would be advisable, unless its design is a personal favorite or the goal is just to support CIG. What are your thoughts on the RSI Meteor? Let me know down in the comments below. If you found this review helpful or insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Citizen content, and ring that bell so you don't miss future videos. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.